across to Tokyo, where the hearse carrying Abe's body arrived at his residence, and we have been getting in these images a day after he was brutally assassinated while campaigning in one of the city areas. And remember, after he could not be revived medically, and it was world leaders who have been sharing their condolences messages as well as their relationships and friendships that they shared with Shinzo Abe, who has been an influential leader internationally as far as Japan is concerned. The body of Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe arrived in Tokyo Saturday afternoon, a day after he was assassinated, while giving a campaign speech in western Nara region. My colleague Srinjoy also joins us on this broadcast. Yes, Srinjoy, we are getting in images from Tokyo where the mortal remains of Shinzo Abe has arrived. We'll try to go across to Srinjoy shortly, but remember, Abe's widow, that is Eiki Abe, also travelled with her husband's body to their home in the country's capital in Tokyo. In fact, their car also arrived to throngs of people lining on the streets near Abe's home and residence in Tokyo as well. And in fact, we have been receiving those last moment visuals, the moment when Shinzo Abe was hit by one of those perpetrators who was standing right across from the street while he was campaigning in the western Nara region. He was giving a campaign speech on the streets. That's when he was hit. And there were two shots, two gun bullets that were in fact hit against and attacked on him. And later on, the attacker was also in fact caught hold by the security forces and the police officials as well. And we're getting in the first images as well of the car, which is believed to have been carrying the mortal remains of the former Prime Minister. Shinzo Abe arriving at his residence in Tokyo after he was fatally shot during a campaign speech in western Japan a day earlier, that is yesterday. Abe was attacked in the city of Nara and airlifted to a local hospital, but unfortunately lost his life and due to severe loss of blood. And my colleague Siddharth also joins us on this broadcast. Yes, Siddharth, we are getting in the last images of Shinzo Abe's last journey as he arrives in Tokyo.
That's right, Richa. Shinzo Abe's body has been brought back from Nara to Tokyo. The body is, of course, been accompanied by his wife, Aike. And there'll be lots of memorial services held in different parts of Japan. In fact, they began even yesterday, not long after it was officially announced that he's moved on. And he leaves behind a very strong legacy, somebody who's known to have resurrected Japan, revived its economy, and somebody who's instilled a great sense of nationalism among the everyday Japanese, something that his successors will now, in fact, continue as far as his legacy is concerned. The funeral arrangements apparently are very elaborate, Richa, and this is going to be something that's going to take quite some time before the last rites are in fact performed. And tributes have been pouring in, understandably, from different parts of the world, with leaders from all across the globe uniting in their honoring of Shinzo Abe. Remember, he's been Japan's longest-serving Prime Minister, somebody who shared a very strong equation with his Indian counterpart, Narendra Modi as well, who penned a very emotional tribute to Mr. Shinzo Abe, which has appeared in all papers this morning. Of course, spoke about the close relations between India and Japan that have blossomed during their both tenures as Prime Ministers. Of course, Abe being one of the architects of the Quad, of which India is also a part, somebody who pioneered the idea of joint naval and military exercises between the various participants of the Quad, and also fostered closer economic relations between India as well as Japan. Abe will also be remembered as somebody who stood up to Chinese expansionism, who in fact spoke against Chinese encroachment